How do you reduce your costs fast when it comes to Google Ads? And what is the exact strategy that you take so that you don't end up messing up your entire Google Ads campaign optimization while doing so? What is going on, everybody? Shri Kanase here, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to lower your Google Ads costs faster than you have ever before without really ruining anything optimization wise. Now, when it comes to actually reducing the cost, it's a very simple formula. However, a lot of people actually end up messing it up big time, and that is simply because they have a lot of previous experience with Facebook ads, maybe TikTok ads, whatever other advertising platform they might have been using previously that is not Google Ads. They end up trying to apply those same strategies, which unfortunately just don't work, because with Google, like I have always said on my YouTube channel, and if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, make sure to destroy that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Here's a cute picture of a koala for doing that. Alright, hopefully you have smashed that subscribe button down below. But you want to take things slow when it comes to Google Ads, and in this video I am going to be going over about 6 different things as to how you can start reducing those costs fast. So let's get right into it. Number one thing that you need to start doing in order to reduce costs fast, and I'm talking specifically about those standard shopping campaigns, is to lower your bids by about 5 cents every 4 to 7 days. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, one of the most common ways to reduce costs, but one thing a lot of e-commerce store owners fail to do is that they fail to lower the bids appropriately. And when I say appropriate, I mean that you should not be lowering the bids by more than 5 to 10 cents at any given times. Again, this is simply done to preserve that optimization, to make sure your campaign does not de-optimize in the process. So this is a very simple thing that you can start doing, that is just simply decreasing the bids every 3 or maybe even 4 days to 7 days. And this is a time period which has worked for me continuously and my clients as well. But you really want to only be doing this step if your campaign, or in the multiple campaigns which you're trying to reduce costs on, are spending not only their full budget but maybe a little bit over their full budget. This is when this works best. Simply reducing that bid is going to force that campaign into re-optimizing and making sure that it kind of spends less than what it was spending originally, possibly even start spending lower than the budget you have set. This is one of the most common solutions when a campaign is actually consistently overspending, but this ties into step number 2, which you need to take along with this, and this is lower the budgets by about 10% every 3 to 5 days. This kind of ties hand in hand with step number 1, which you have to take, which is just to lower the bids. Now, with the budgets, you need to be lowering it by around 10%, maximum of 20%. Do not go over this, because again, this is going to kill your campaign and it's going to basically de-optimize the entire campaign. So you don't want that to happen. In order to really quickly lower the amount that that campaign is spending, lower it by about 10%, maximum 20%. And you can do this hand in hand with the first thing, which is lowering the bids, but make sure to do one step at a time. So that means, let's say for example, today you go ahead and you lower the bid by 5 cents, and you come back to the campaign about 3 to 4 days later, and that campaign is still not where you want it to be. That campaign is still overspending. That is when you want to now lower the budget by 10%. And if within 4 days you lower the budget, things go well, amazing, you can keep it at that stage. However, if it continues to spend where it's not really desirable, where it's not getting you profits, then the third step which you need to take, which is about 3 to 7 days after that budget decrement, is to again go in and lower the bid. So as you can see, what you are simply doing is you're simply taking turns doing one over the other. So lower the bid, lower the budget, lower the bid, and so forth. This cycle is going to help you extremely quickly lower that Google ad campaign budget without really ruining the optimization, because you can go in, you can basically cut a campaign from $100 a day to $10 a day, but 99% chance that it is going to completely be ruined. That campaign you will end up having to just shut off later on. So this is kind of the more safer route to go, and it lets you kind of go lower with the budget very quickly. And in this case, 1 to 2 week is quick for Google Ads. But this brings me to the next point, which is basically unchecking the search network. As you see on my screen, this search network right here is one of the most common reasons why a lot of campaigns are actually overspending their budgets. And this is because Google has partnered up with these different kinds of websites. Then these websites are jammed in together into something called the search network. The search network is not necessarily the best kind of different search engines that you should be targeting or you should have your ads on, but nonetheless, Google offers this as an extra way for their own business to make money. But just because they offer it does not mean that you should be using it as well. So one of the easiest ways to lower your entire campaign budget or your overall account budget is to just uncheck this for the campaigns where you have it unchecked. And you will notice that Google Ads campaigns over the next day basically starts to spend much less than what it was originally spending. And that is simply because you are now taking that campaign outside of the search network. Your ads are no longer going to be shown on these different search engines. So that is one easy thing that you can do to really lower those ad costs fast. And that is, again, to just uncheck the search results. But unchecking the search results is not enough if your campaign has a fault. And what I mean by this is if your products are faulty within that campaign. When it comes to the products, there is nothing that really beats that. The products are what causes the campaign to spend the budget. So if you have unprofitable products, if you have really bad products nobody is buying, and you continue to let the campaign spend money on those products, that is where you're making the biggest mistake. So this brings me to the next point, which is just get rid of those unprofitable products fast. Be quick when it comes to deciding whether a product is working or not. Don't hope and pray that that product will soon become profitable, because with Google Ads, it's not really about hoping and praying that works. What works are the numbers, and what you should be going off of are the numbers that you see on the screen. So always make sure that the products that you have in the campaign are backed by some kind of data. That means you are letting those products run because, number one, they have not fully spent the amount that you want them to spend, or number two, they have not reached their profit margin. So these are really the only two things, or the two reasons why you should have a product running with the campaign. You want to be very specific. You want to be goal oriented when it comes to running these campaigns. Otherwise, you will end up spending a lot of money. So again, get rid of those unprofitable products fast. As soon as it crosses your profit margins for that given product without a sale, go ahead and exclude this. And to give you a very quick example, let's say product A is within your campaign. Product A you buy from AliExpress, eBay, wherever you're sourcing from, for $20, and you sell this product on your website for $50. That means you have a profit margin of about $30. If this product in your Google Ads campaign, the standard shopping campaign or smart campaign, spends about $31, $32, maybe even $35, and it has zero sales, go ahead and exclude that product completely from that campaign. Do not wait for it to suddenly start getting sales, because that is just not going to happen. Again, you want to be very goal oriented. You want to be very numbers oriented in order to really preserve that budget and spend it on the products which are going to get you results. But this brings me to the next point, which is just group up the different products within the different campaigns you have running all together inside of one given campaign. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? A lot of e-commerce store owners have this tendency to start these single product campaigns where, don't get me wrong, those are really great kinds of campaigns to start. But if they have not really shown any kinds of results, there is no reason for them to be running within their own campaign. They're just eating up that valuable budget which you have set for the store. So instead, here is what you should be doing. Let's say, for example, you have 5 to 10 products within their own campaigns. Maybe these products are kind of grouped up in their separate campaigns, but overall, you have 5 to 10 different campaigns running, and these campaigns have no kind of really strategy or direction. You just decided to group these products up or just individually start these products without a real strategy. What you should be doing, instead of running these products within their own campaigns and maybe having each campaign run at like a $20, $30 budget, is you should group those products with, number one, the same kind of niche, number two, the same kind of profit margin, or even number three, the same kind of selling price. So whatever you sell that product for on your website, its own individual campaign. So you want to kind of minimize those 5-10 different campaigns into maybe one campaign up to a maximum of 3 or 4. And you want to take all of those budgets. So if, let's say, for example, you had 10 campaigns running at about $20 a day, that is $200 a day. Instead of distributing that budget of $20 a day across 10 campaigns, now you only have maybe one campaign where you can directly launch the budget at $100 to $200 a day. Or if you have like 2, 3, 4 campaigns, then you can evenly distribute that budget out across these 2, 3, 4 campaigns. But that budget as a whole will still be much higher than what it was originally of just $20 a day or $10 a day per campaign. And this is not only going to let you spend more money per campaign and let that campaign optimize faster, get data faster, but it is also going to kind of give Google a better understanding of your products, because now you have grouped these products together and they have some kind of similarity. So when it comes for Google to go out and find the audience, it can now work off of these multiple products inside a single campaign and go out and find the right kind of audience at a much faster rate. So it's much valuable in my opinion and even in my experience to just group up these different kinds of products together. And let me know down in the comment section if you have any kinds of other experience with grouping these different products. Also, I answer all the comments below, so if you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. But now that we're talking about grouping, there is one other strategy which is called the shared budget strategy, which you can begin using with your Google Ads account. Now, this is actually very interesting because it lets kind of some of your control go on over to Google Ads. Now, in order to illustrate this, I have this Google Ads account open on my screen. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the tools and settings right over here, click on this wrench icon, and you should be doing this on your own Google Ads account. From here, what you want to do is you want to go under shared library. You want to go to the fourth option, which says shared budgets, because this is where Google Ads gives you the ability to share your budgets. And this is extremely valuable, especially if you're trying to reduce your overall cost with your Google Ads account. Now, the shared budget is extremely easy to use. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on this new shared budget plus button right over here. You can also click on this plus button right over here as well. Once you do that, Google will now open up this window right over here, and you will be able to see all of the different campaigns you currently have running with not only the campaign names but also their daily budgets. Now, what you can do in order to set basically a shared daily budget is to choose those specific campaigns which you want added to this list of the shared budget, and you want to go ahead and give the budget a name. So for example, we're just going to give this the name OK, and once you click save, you will be able to add this to bottom list right over here, which is the shared budget list. Now, if you read what it says in this blue little box right here, it says total budget is 65.01 euros shared across 4 campaigns. So all this feature did is it ended up adding all of the 4 budgets which these campaigns are currently running at, and now it is going to spend an average of 16 euros per campaign. But here's the thing, on one given day, if it believes that this campaign number 1 has more of the search volume and more search impressions and even more conversions that it can get, then it will spend more of this 65 euro budget on campaign number 1, and campaign 2, 3, and 4 will get lower amounts of that spend, and it will be the same for all of these other campaigns. So this is now giving Google the control to spend this entire budget which you have set at a multiple campaign level and decide which individual campaign deserves that budget. And the beauty is, now that you're sharing this budget, instead of again spending $20 a day on every individual campaign, now you can just spend maybe a $50 shared budget, maybe even a $60 shared budget across multiple different campaigns. And you have the ability to choose this shared budget as long as you change up the daily budgets and whatever the campaigns are currently running at. And of course, once you hit save, it should give you more options to edit the shared budget right over here as well. But extremely cool feature, and I personally believe this will help you reduce those costs when it comes to your Google Ads account. But now moving on to the next ultimate way of lowering your Google Ad spend, of reducing costs fast with Google, and that is more related to the smart shopping campaigns. But in order to reduce those costs with smart campaigns, all you really need to do is check that box which says the target ROAS box and give a percentage to the campaign. Now, normally in 2022 and onwards, I don't recommend having this box checked, but if that campaign is performing well, however, it is overspending your budget and you want to get it into kind of a certain level of budget ad spend daily and monthly, then you have the ability of checking that target ROAS box, because once you check that, what is going to happen is now Google is going to reduce its overall fishing net that it had open in order to go out and find that audience. So if now the fishing net had the ability to store about 100 different people inside this net and basically serve the impressions to these 100 people, it is now going to lower this fishing net capacity from 100 to maybe 70, 60, even 50, depending on what target ROAS percentage you put for the campaign. And the beauty is, the higher the target ROAS percentage, the lower capacity that the smart campaign has to store these people within this net. So as you increase the target ROAS, Google is now forced to go out and find the highest quality traffic possible. When Google has to do that, of course, it is going to spend much less in terms of the daily budget. So this is one amazing way to lower your overall cost with Google Ads. Just set that target ROAS percentage, especially for Google Ads. But that is pretty much 6 different ways as to how you can reduce your cost with Google Ads fast. Now, these are things I do for my own e-commerce stores as well as my clients' e-commerce stores under my agency Euro Marketing. And if you are doing around $30,000 in sales or more and you want to kind of give somebody else control to run your ads for you, kind of scale them to the next level for you, go ahead and go onto my website at euromarketing.com and book a call to see if we can work together and possibly scale your store to the next level. But if you found any type of value in this video, destroy the like button and destroy that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.